Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One. The current administration, the current powers that be are making this really easy for me to decide a few things. Today I read an article that said that President Obama's budget for over 75,000 Central American miners would bring that number for each one aid to $17,613. $17,613 for people that aren't even Americans. That will be taken from hardworking Americans, or the money will just be printed and given away. If you do the numbers, that is over $2,841 more than the average Social Security recipient gets. So we're taking care of people that are not Americans, which we clearly do not have the money to help. We clearly don't have the jobs to support them, and they're definitely not assimilating into our country. If you look at video after video, hundreds of videos out there, there's a group of population, the Hispanics, and not all Hispanics are bad. There are Americans that are Hispanic, but they're not with an attitude of gimme, gimme, gimme. They're here legally. If you are here in this country illegally, it is a crime. I don't know why we put up with it. You say, well, we can vote them out and get good politicians. No, the whole system's rigged. I've come to that conclusion. 100% the system is rigged. The Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the establishment. I don't even know if our vote actually counts because it's done by computer, and who controls the computer and who controls the counting of that. Maybe that's conspiracy theory, but I am at the point now where they're making it real easy for me. So we are going to bring in all these kids. We're going to treat them better than Americans. When we have Americans here that need help, we need jobs. I am a Trump supporter. Is he a conservative? No. But if he goes into office thinking I got to make America great again and America first, and any bill that comes across my desk needs to support the American worker, then I'm going to support that. He's not as conservative as I want, but he's our last hope. I saw a video of a crowd of probably illegals that had more American flags, or excuse me, more Mexican flags than American flags, and they were assaulting U.S. citizens. This is a crime. I don't know why we let it go on, but I am at the point now where I am no longer supporting the federal government in any way. I believe they're criminal. I believe they committed treason. I believe we need to throw them out of office by any means necessary. By any means necessary. I believe it's constitutionally given us the right to use any means necessary to throw these scoundrels out. Will we do it? I don't know. But we cannot, at this point, use the voting system to get this. They have brainwashed, they have taken over our schools. Look at Bernie Sanders. He's a socialist, diehard socialist. Look at Hillary Clinton, what she has said. She would love to repeal the Second Amendment and bring it up to today's standard. That's treason. That in itself is the only reason we need to use any means necessary to restore the Constitution and stop the direct threat against our Constitution. Yes, I'm going out on a limb here. My name's on probably a lot of lists, and that's fine. If your name is not on a list, you are not doing your job if you say you're a constitutional American. So every day I read articles that just prove my point. Voting will not work. It is going to take another means to restore our Constitution. I mean, the LGBT, I guess that's what they're called, sodomites, they can do whatever they want, and they get a little bit of people, and the media gets behind them. When are we going to get in the streets? The other side gets in the streets, and they're willing to protest. Granted, they don't have to work. A lot of them are here illegally. But it's going to come a time when we got to get in the streets and by any means necessary try to restore our Constitution. You might say, oh, that's not the Christian thing to do, Dave. It is the Christian things to do. The contract with our government is very clear. When our government steps over the boundary, when the government interferes with some basic rights, especially the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, you don't have the privilege of doing it. You have the responsibility to restore it. So I have given up on the electoral system. I will vote Trump this year. I almost don't even want to vote because I believe the system now is so corrupt. There's no hope using the system, but I will vote Trump. I will try every means necessary to restore the Constitution. But the government has these powers that they have stepped over the line. The only way to fix it is by using methods in the Constitution that say, any necessary force can be used to restore it when the government steps over those boundaries. So yeah, I'm upset. Every news article I read, the government is doing something that is wrong. The other side, they get out in the streets, they holler, they hoop, they do a lot of illegal things, they assault people. It's going to take us doing the same thing. You're not going to restore the Constitution, you're not going to restore our way of life and putting America first, because the Republicans and Democrats have voted for the legislation and approved them that do not put Americans first. Our border is wide open. Why is that? The border's wide open because they want to bring in cheap labor. They want to bring in voters that will vote a certain party in the office. My son is over in Europe right now. This is his third small tour. This one's a lengthy tour. He is there to protect Europe from Russia. What's worth protecting? They are letting Muslims in there. There probably will be a Muslim mayor in London. He is leading the race right now. So my son's blood, an ounce of my son's blood is not worth all of Europe. If they can't fight for themselves, if they are going to be invaded. Study the Crusades. We need another crusade. I've studied the Quran. If you look at the Quran, I can't find out where there's a moderate Muslim. If you study the Quran is very clear. We are the infidel. We either get killed or we pay a tax. It is so clear. So when you hear moderate Muslim, I can't figure that one out. If you're a Muslim, you want me as an infidel or a Christian dead, or I have to subject myself to a tax just because I'm not a Muslim. So I don't want to say white people need to get off their ass. Americans need to get off their ass. I'm sick and tired of, they say, well, we're a diverse country. I looked at the pictures of the signing of the Constitution. It didn't look too diverse to me. It looked like old, middle class, white guy signing that document. So, they say, no, we're a diverse group of people that founded this country. No, the country was founded by a group of people, and we're getting away from that. And I'm not saying that because I'm racist. We cannot assimilate all these people in because they don't want to assimilate. They're demanding California. They want California back. They want other areas back. They're not Americans. We are invaded. We are physically being invaded by a hostile force, and the government of the United States is leaving the borders open and letting it happen. And I cannot take that anymore. I hope you can't, but it's going to take pain, it's going to take suffering. Don't think that ballot box is still going to use. It's beyond use. It is gone, it is done. The next step has to be taken. I'm at that point in my life where I owe it to my kids and grandkids. I can say, I'm going to be quiet here and just get by. No, it is time that Americans stand up by force. Millions and millions and millions of us. The stand has to be taken. We've already lost. We have a little bit of opportunity to fight it. And it's going to be a long, hard fight. If you look how long it took us to establish this great country, it was a long, hard fight. The government makes it really easy for me to clear my conscience and take a moral stand on this subject every day. Now it's not helping me get to that point. It's reassuring me that my position of trying to restore the Constitution and get rid of the establishment that is killing our country, the big banks, Our country's being destroyed by multiculturalism, by New World Order. You might say, Dave, you lost it. And you might say, Dave, this ain't a survival or prepping topic. Yes, it is. It is the survival of my country, which is more important than me. It's more important than you, to give our grandchildren something. And it is Republicans and Democrats' fault. Look at the major legislation that both parties have sponsored, that passed. They are destroying our country. So you gotta ask yourself, when do we forget about voting, and when do we take the next stand? I've made up my mind. Have you made up your mind yet? Thanks for watching.